Hey, it's Tarsha McCray here with Creative Pursuit School, and I'm so pleased to introduce Natalie Cousins. So,
Hey.
wow, Natalie, this has been in the works for a little while now, and we're finally bringing you all a workshop on setting goals you can actually achieve and putting a strategy into place for long-term success and fulfillment. So, Natalie is the perfect person to host this workshop as a successful coach for designers and realtors, using her proven systematic processes to ignite her clients' visions and goals, as well as teach them how to stand out from the competition, get clients on repeat, free up their time, which is so important, and get more money in the bank. So, welcome, Natalie. And let's go ahead and dig in here. So, first of all, just kind of share with us your story. How did you get started coaching creative entrepreneurs?
Well, so I started off as a designer in 98, graduated in 2002, and went into pre-construction slash decor person. And I did that for a while. And really, um, I found that when with my design projects or anything I was doing, I was always working with the owner to help with their business processes. So if they called me to design a dental office, I'd ask about the process. Like if a receptionist sits here, how are they going to get to the filing cabinet? Where is the intake office going to be? And so I always found my brain would always, even though I was the designer, I would want to know the functionalities of the back office. Um, in 2005, I found out I was expecting my first child. And so, real surprise because it wasn't planned. And my girlfriend said, well, how are you going to be self-employed and be a mom? And, I let it rent space in my mind. And so I thought, you know what, I'm not going to let this take over me. I did close my design firm down, but I decided and I asked myself, how am I going to stay relevant in the industry and be able to still do things? And I looked at what I love doing. And really, it wasn't designing that I loved doing. It was really helping people. I found that if I met other designers or stagers or whatever, I would be helping them as well, helping real estate agents. And so I started my company as a consultant, and I would host these seminars called the Consultant Success Seminar. And so in Toronto here, we have a facility called Designers Walk. It's like a resource center for designers. And I would just rent their theater space and host these events. And from there, it turned into coaching. And I am now coaching real estate agents. I mentor designers. And so at the end of the day, I wake up doing what I love each and every day. It actually doesn't feel like work. It feels like, I'm just here fulfilling my passion. And so that's how I got started as a coach.
That's excellent. And that's really what it's all about, is doing what you love. It's following your passion. So it doesn't feel like, work per se, but you
Yeah.
really enjoy what you're doing. So thank you, Natalie, for sharing that. And of course and also for just kind of sharing your gifts with us and your knowledge as well. So tell us, why are goals so important for our business?
So here's the thing. A lot of people will be at different stages of their life in their business. Some may be self-employed. Some may be doing this full time. Now, I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life. Baby number two came and it was the same thing. Like, how am I going to survive? If you have goals that you are working towards and continuously as you hit another goal, you set another one, or if you have visualization in place, it allows for you to keep going. And the scenario that I'm going to use is I struggle with weight loss. Okay. It just is what it is. Um, what ends up happening is when I lose weight, so I was getting married, I was very motivated to lose that weight. I had a goal. I wanted to fit in a wedding dress. So what happens? I go to the gym, I'm working out, I'm losing weight. I look beautiful on my wedding day. What happens after the wedding? Did I go back to the gym and doing all that stuff? No, because I didn't set a bigger goal for myself. The wedding was just the be all end all. I did that. And so I say to people, if we continue to stay in our comfort zone, there'll be no accomplishments met because we're just okay. So goals, you don't have to be self-employed to build goals, because I think a lot of people think, oh, a lot of self-employed people talk about goals. If you're in a job, set a goal for yourself that in 3 years, you might move up to another department, or you'll switch roles to becoming a manager or something of that. But the minute that you just arrive and you think you've arrived and you're good, it sets in, you're complacent, you're mediocre, you're stagnant, and you're just not growing. And so the brain needs to be able to spark new things, new ideas. And so I believe that goals will help you with the things that you want to accomplish, and then you put milestones and a plan in place for you to be able to manifest that. And so for me, I've suffered with downtimes. I've suffered with making a lot of money. And what happens is you get this money and you're shopping, you're doing all these things, and then it goes back to zero, and then you're back to that low place again. And so I was a bipolar introvert, extrovert because of my situation. But because I found my passion, I have the goals, I know what I'm working towards, which they'll learn with this workshop that we're doing. It will allow you to continue looking at staying motivated with your purpose and why you're doing what you're doing. Think about a new relationship. There's a line that says newfound love is like a brand new toy. I buy my kids toys. They're playing with it on Christmas Day. They're playing with it for the next couple of days, and the momentum wears off and then it's gone. We don't want that in our business. We don't want that in our life. So you got to be able to know why you're doing what you're doing, what you want because of what you're doing, and how you're going to get it. And that's what visualization will do for you in goal setting.
And I think that's so important. And I think a lot of us can relate in terms of when we reach one goal and then we just we don't do anything else. We just kind of get comfortable, and we're not pushing ourselves. We're not challenging ourselves to get to the next level, which is growth. And that's ultimately what we want for ourselves personally and what we want for our businesses. And with the weight loss thing, I can relate because I'm famous for doing these crazy workouts, preparing for vacation. Like, oh, we're going to the beach, I have to look a certain way. And then it's like, when we come back, it's kind of like, okay, I didn't put anything in place for long-term. And a lot of what we're going to be talking about is looking at long-term strategy. So it's once you kind of hit that first goal, that second goal, you don't stop there, you keep going.
Yes, absolutely.
So what can visualization do for our businesses?
All right. So here's the thing. If you are ever feeling like you want to give up, right? It happens all the time. You've been plugging away at this design business, maybe your spouse, whoever that may be, is the breadwinner. And so they don't quite yet see the checks coming in, it's just like real estate agents. They get into it and, it takes about 6 months to really see a deal. And so the long and the short of it is with visualization, and I think I have something here to be able to show you. If you have something to look at, okay? So this is in my book, but normally it's in front of me in the wall, but I taught a class last night. So I can look at this, and if I was to ever not show up for this meeting with you today or something like that, this is what keeps the fuel going. Because I know what I'm trying to accomplish. There's a visual there for your mind to be able to keep reminiscing as to why you're doing something. And so at that moment, if you feel like not getting up and going to this networking meeting with realtors to get some staging jobs, or going out to smoosh with some builders to be able to decorate that model home, the minute you feel like you don't want to do something, the minute you feel like not going to the gym, the minute you feel like not calling all those prospects, just look. And so it's a brain trigger, right? Because as I start to continue going to the gym and I see that my stomach's not hanging over anymore, or I see that I can actually fit into those jeans, my favorite jeans, my motivational jeans, those progresses lead for you wanting more. Now, imagine if you were just an individual who had big dreams that were just up here. And every day you talked about it to your kids or your spouse or to your mom or to whoever and said, one day I'm going to be, the well-known designer here in Erie County. And people would just look at you because they haven't seen you getting up and living in your purpose. You don't have a visual. And so every year you say the same thing. Every year you say the same thing. And then what happens? You're still where you were 5 years ago. You're seeing other designers who you've watched online flourishing, but you haven't done anything because you have no motivation. You haven't taken what's out of here and put it here. And once it's here, when are you getting these? So a lot of people think that the universe is just going to give them all these things. But really, it's action and hard work. That's why we do the goal planning, and that's why we have the milestones to be able to get to them. So if someone says to me, where do I see myself 6 months to a year from now? I see myself back in Atlanta, Georgia, living either in Lawrenceville or Duluth or somewhere in the Gwinnett County area. I see myself with a 4 or 5 bedroom home. My kids are well nested in school. I'm doing speaking engagements, trainings all over the city. I can see that because I've put it out there, I've manifested it. 2, I've gone back and I've put a photo of myself teaching back in the day, which is hard for everyone to see here. But I'm seeing myself back into that element. I'm seeing myself, being a contributor to Forbes magazine, CNN, OWN. I see my YouTube channel growing. So no one can embed these in there. They were here, and I've now put them on paper, and it's like a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plan that I've set for myself. And here's the thing. Not all of this may manifest because there's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be hurdles. But we now have a plan. So just like when I'm driving from Toronto to Atlanta, the GPS tells me, well, it's a 17-hour drive. But if I didn't know better, I wouldn't have forecasted my derail to the border, because they're going to ask you, where are you going? How long are you going for? So there's a delay there. Mm-hmm. Okay. I've got to stop for gas a couple of times because the one stop full up isn't going to get me to Atlanta. We've got to eat. Now, unlike some people, I drive all the way, but some people may stop and stay overnight at a hotel or sightsee or whatever. And if I'm with my husband, he always wants to drive the DC way so we could stop and see the monuments, right? So in life, the whole thing I'm trying to say is there will always be hurdles or bumps or delays in the road. And all you got to do is just remember that you've got your plan, and there was just a little setback, but for every setback, there is a major comeback, and that's what we need to focus on.
And that, again, that is like so crucial for all of us to just kind of understand. It's kind of like, you have these ideas swerving in your head, and like you said, you have to implement these things. You have to put into action. And when you have these boards in place, it's kind of like these constant reminders or these visual cues to help you in terms of, okay, look, this is what I'm striving for. This is what I'm going towards. And when you start doing those things and you start seeing wins, you start getting wins, you want more and more of it. So the whole thing is, just to start, just to act, and then just constantly remind yourself of what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, exactly. And the brain likes wins. And so I relate it to a Tesla. We all buy it and we're like, oh, the car drives itself. But guess what? It requires the action of the human touch to press that button for it to be able to go. So these tools that we're having, we're the driving force behind it. Yeah, it drives itself, but we needed to press the button, the action, for that car to even work.
Right. So true. So true. So true. So Natalie, tell us, how can we grow our businesses with vision boards?
All right. So I believe that if you have a life vision board, you should also have your vision for your business, your vision board for your business, either on the same board or next to that board. Because the same way that we want milestones and things in our life is the same reason why we want to be able to have a business. Now, if you're self-employed, your business plan should be more prominent, because without a business plan, you can't get the vacation. You can't get the bag, the shoes, the car, and all those stuff. So it is very important that with this business vision, it sets through your numbers that you want to make. It sets through the brand that you want, who's the assistant, what type of office space, things like that, so you can be in harmony. Because in order for you to go on that Greece vacation, your business would have to be flourishing. And so that's why it's important, because the business, you'll set milestones for that. I know how many deals I want to close this year. I know how many clients I need to serve. I know that I'm putting out there where I want to be featured, my book's coming out. So it helps me to keep in alignment with my business stuff. So when I do purchase that house in Atlanta, I'll be able to say, my business paid off. I was able to get my house. I was able to buy my new car. I was able to get that bag I've been wanting. And so we need to realize that sometimes a vision board is not about the materialistic things that we want in our personal life, but it's really the goals and milestones that we accomplish and achieve based off our business vision board. And so the great thing about this workshop is they will learn the personal vision board and the business vision board. And I actually show you how to lay out your vision board into 6 categories or 6 sections that cover different areas of your life, business included.
Oh, so that's excellent, because I've done vision boards before, vision board parties and things like that. And I think I've always really focused on the personal and not so much on the business. So that's a huge thing that I've been missing out on. So, so I'm really looking forward to this workshop. So Natalie, we're just about to wrap up, and I just have one last question for you. So basically, you kind of talked a little bit about what to expect during this workshop, but how is this different from how we traditionally think about vision board parties?
Well, let's quickly talk about that. So most people treat vision boards the way that they do New Year's resolutions. It's the novelty wears off. Okay, everyone says, "Oh, for the new year, I'm gonna go to the gym." I should own a gym because all these memberships get paid for at the beginning of January, and I can guarantee you right now, if I went to the gym, I could get a treadmill. Everyone's just basically the novelty wears off, and so the vision board parties are more like, "Hey girl, you want to go to a vision board party?" And everyone goes, they drink wine, and they make intoxicated decisions. They don't make sound decisions. And that will be the difference with working with me. We're going to really dive in and hone in on the real true power of the vision board, the sections of it. And we're really going to go in here on the mindset and the mentality of the things that you really want. And here's the thing, a lot of us want what others have. A lot of people want success. A lot of people want to be able to be, the expert in that area, but are you willing to put in the work for the things that you want? And so success, all these things are not going to come in an envelope in tomorrow's mail like this and say, here's success, right? You've got to work towards it. And that's the major difference is most people just say, look at the vision board, visualize what you want, and the universe will give it to you. But the universe is a vibration, and the vibration is you getting up every day, working towards your goals, working towards your dreams. And as you work and you do the actions and you follow the plan, you will be able to manifest these things into your life. But it's not magic. It is you've told the universe that you want these things. And if you keep your mindset going and keep positive, then you will be able to have the positive action that it needs to take and get rid of the negative actions and continue to press through. Boom, you're going to get the car. All right, now you have the car. When are you going to pay it off, or did you buy it cash? Boom, now it's the house. Now it's your photo shoot for your website, things like that. And so that is the difference. We are not going to sip wine. We are not going to have music playing in the background. We are going to really get into the mind. We are going to really get to planning, and we're going to really focus on what you want in 1, 3, and 5 years.
Excellent. Okay. We're still going to have fun though.
Yeah, we're going to have fun, but I want to know that these are the right things at the right time for you to manifest, for you to be happy and smiling because you've accomplished them all. Because people will tell you, they'll email you later after this and they'll say, vision boards never worked for me. Right? It didn't work because it wasn't done the right way. So we'll have fun, but it will be more of the mindset.
We'll have fun while we're working. But no, I think these are excellent points you bring up in terms of it's not just looking at it on the surface. Yes. I mean, it's really like, okay, you have this, cute board here, that you cut all these pretty pictures, whether you do it, paper or, virtually or whatever, but it's kind of getting beyond that and really putting things. And so teaching us how to put these things like in place. So it's good that I can go back, I can look at it and have these visual cues. Then I'm also going to have goals. I'm also going to have action steps. I'm going to have deadlines put in place to get me through to reach to accomplish these pretty pictures.
Yes.
that I put together. So, okay, well, excellent, Natalie. And thank you so much for this teaser of what's to come. So everyone, please reserve your seat right now by clicking that button below for this can't miss workshop. We have all kinds of gifts and surprises if you sign up for the early bird discount. So don't wait, save your space today, and see you soon. Thank you.